I met Mr. Franco 14 years ago in an immigration jail in Southern California. I was a young lawyer at the time, working at the jail, doing Know Your Rights presentations and meeting with people who were detained there by immigration authorities. But Mr. Franco wasn't able to sign up for my program because he couldn't write his name, he didn't know his birth date. So an immigration officer actually alerted me to his case. And when I met with him, he was 29 years old at the time, but had the mental capacity of a young child, by some measures as young as 2 years old. Unfortunately, immigration refused to release him, and so we filed a lawsuit that sought his release. He had been detained at that point for over 4.5 years, and with no open immigration proceedings against him, solely because the system had no way of dealing with people who had serious mental disabilities in custody, and so they had essentially forgotten about him. We filed that lawsuit. Happily, he was released very quickly, but we knew that he was not the only one, that there were many, many others lost in immigration custody just as he was as a result of his mental disability. And so we turned his lawsuit into a class action, Franco Gonzalez v. Holder, seeking a right to counsel for all of these folks with serious mental disabilities who are incompetent to represent themselves in their immigration proceedings. And years later, we won that lawsuit, and still they're the only group in immigration court right now who have a right to government-appointed counsel in their removal proceedings. Mr. Franco's done incredibly well since his release from immigration custody. He lives with his parents, he lives near his siblings and many nieces and nephews. He participates in a day program for people with developmental disabilities. He's really thriving, and I'm just so excited to share that in January of this year, we helped Mr. Franco become a U.S. citizen.